I've told you before that like with my non-belief, right, being whatever these labels that you want to put on atheist or whatever, that there's something about like it's hard to find somebody that really understands how you feel, how you think, what you believe. And I was telling you yesterday that part of being human is wanting to be understood, is to have somebody else that knows how you're feeling inside. And I was telling you that with so many people out there, like even with the smallest thing, like we went to your mom's house for something, and it was like she accidentally said somebody's name, and they're like, oh, so-and-so must be thinking of me. You know, like even in the smallest way, like she probably doesn't really believe that, right? But there's some people that do. And even in the smallest way, there's like these little superstitions and these little spiritual, like I'm gonna lean towards the unexplained, where there's no evidence, but I'll just go that way just because I like it, or that's just how that's how people are wired, you know. But I have like zero of that, absolutely none. And to find somebody that knows what that is like I've never come across anybody that's like that thinks the way I do. Never. I don't know if you have, but it seems like everybody, at least at the minimum, has a little something. There's some magic out there. So I was having these thoughts like, dude, like nobody fucking gets it. Like nobody gets me. One thing that I was mentioning to you is that I don't think that any two people have the same belief, even if you're in the same religion. Mm-hmm. Even if you grab two Christians that are almost exactly the same, or not exactly the same, that have almost all the same beliefs, there's going to be something that's a little bit, I don't know if I believe it that way. I believe it this way. So maybe 99.9% of your beliefs are the same, but there's that 1% or that 0.1% that's a little bit different for you than it is for them, but you're still Christian. And there's an entire spectrum of, you know, closer to literally what the Bible says, and I just kind of go with the flow of things. And then you kind of just fall off from there to just spirituality. I don't believe in any religions, but I believe that there's stuff out there and this and that. And then all the way, you know, into where there really isn't, but there's just superstitions and stuff like that, right? And like for you and your circle, where maybe you're not super religious, but you guys are all spiritual, connected in a way, like you say. So when you have questions or you have these contemplations or whatever, you have a circle of people that think and feel, and a community that you can come back to. And I was kind of thinking about like where there is no non-belief community. There is no community of absolute non-belief.
Yeah. And
I was like, that's a pretty lonely place to be. And I was in this funk, and I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to talk to ChatGPT about some of this stuff. And it was really cool to, you know, some of the stuff that I was going back and forth. But even at the end, that kind of feels hollow, because I know it's a fucking robot that I'm talking to, not a person, you know? So in the end, it's fucking what? ChatGPT is the one that gets me. You know what I mean? But
there are people,
but like
that's where the information's coming from.
But like you were saying earlier, like I was in this funk, and then eventually like we talk about it and this and that, and I was just like, all right, enough of this. Go put some music on. Like time passes, and I come out, and I'm on to doing my thing. And I was just kind of thinking like, maybe this is life. This is human nature, that we go through these cycles, that we contemplate these things, that they put us in a funk. And then you have to think about, this is life. This is human nature. It is what it is. Moving on.
It's the journey.